नमस्ते, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। आई एम JVN डॉक्टर मीनाक्षी, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर इन डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ शालाक्य तंत्र, फैकल्टी ऑफ Ayurvedic Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. Today in this session we will discuss about the noise pollution and the noise trauma. What is noise pollution? Noise is defined as any undesired human or machine created noise which disturbs the activity or balance of human or animal life. In simple terms, noise is the unwanted sound, and sound is a form of energy which is emitted by a vibrating body and on reaching the ear causes the sensation of hearing through nerves. Sounds produced by all vibrating bodies are not audible. The frequency limits of audibility are from 20 Hz to the 20,000 Hz. A noise problem generally consists of three related elements: the source, the receiver, and the transmission path. This transmission path is usually the atmosphere through which the sound is propagated, but can induce the structural materials of any building containing the receiver. Here is an image of the source and how the sound energy passes through the path to the receiver end, and if there is any barrier in the path, then how the energy is transmitted. So the source of human speech is mainly in the range of 300 to 3000 hertz. Here is the mechanism of hearing. They have shown in the image how the sound passes from the external auditory canal to the eardrum, then to the middle ear, then to the fluid in the internal ear, and through the auditory nerves to the brain. It is a picture of mechanism of hearing. They have shown how the sound waves pass from the external auditory canal to the eardrum through the three bones of middle ear, then to the internal ear. Again, there is the image of the mechanism of hearing. The science of human hearing and sound is called the human acoustics. Sound waves set vibration in the eardrum, which is made up of membrane in the outer ear. The vibration in the eardrum induces movement of the three small soft bones in the middle ear behind the eardrum. The movement of the soft bones pass through viscous fluid in the inner ear, creating oscillation of fluid. These oscillation then reaches the auditory nerve and finally transmitted to the brain. The oscillation or sound are identified and interpreted in the brain, which has the capacity to analyze sound into different frequency. Human detectable frequency range is 20 to 20,000 Hz. Sensitivity of the ear varies from person to person. With aging, hearing power decreases. The ear is susceptible to damage if it receives high intensity noise. Then the measurement of sound or noise. The intensity of sound is measured in the forms of sound pressure level, and common unit is decibel. Decibel is the logarithm of 10 and to the ratio of the intensity to the reference intensity. This decibel measures how much intense is the sound as compared to the reference intensity. The sound pressure level in decibel is defined as the logarithm of 20 with the ratio of the reference pressure. Noise level in decibel is measured with an instrument called the sound level meter. It consists of three internationally accepted weighing networks. The weighing networks are electronic filter circuits built into the meter to weaken the certain frequency. They permit the sound level meter to respond more to some frequency than to others with prejudice, something like human ears. There are three weighing scales: A, B, C. A weighing scale severely filters the frequency, B weighing scale moderately filters the frequency, and C weighing scale hardly filters the frequency. These are the instruments for measuring of the noise. Then what are the sources of noise? The major sources of noise, these are the automobile revolution in urban areas are proved to be a big source of noise pollution. Increase in the traffic has given rise to traffic jams where the repeated hooting of horns by drivers create noise pollution. Air crowds create serious problems in big cities like Mumbai and Delhi. Heavy truck, buses, trains, motorcycles, jeeps, other vehicles are responsible for traffic noise. Then industrial and construction machine noise, the factory equipment, generators, drills, road rollers, and similarly machinery also make lot of noise. The public system contribute in its own ways towards noise pollution by using loudspeakers for religious functions, birth, marriage, election, for commercial advertising. Then household the household activities will contribute for indoor noise pollution. Domestic gadgets like pressure cookers, AC, vacuum cleaners, mixers, washing machines are major source of noise at household level. Entertainment equipments like radio, music system, TV will contribute toward the noise pollution. Then defense exercises, tanks, launching of the rockets, explosion, military exercises, aeroplanes, shooting ranges are adding towards noise pollution. What are the effects of noise pollution? Noise can do physiological and or psychological damage if the volume is high or if exposure is prolonged. The common effects of noise pollution are hearing loss. The loud noise damages fine hair cells in the ear. The vibration of these hair cells is responsible for hearing of sound by us. Since our body cannot replace damaged hair cells, the permanent hearing loss is caused by long-term exposure to loud noise. The other effect of noise pollution is annoyance. It creates annoyance to the receptor due to sound level fluctuations. Then physiological effects like breathing difficulty, rise in blood pressure, migraine, headaches, constriction of blood vessels, and even heart attacks. Then again, human performance, the working of humans will be affected as they will lose their concentration. And the noise pollution also affect the nervous system. It causes pain, ringing in ears, that is called the tinnitus, the feeling of tiredness, thereby affecting the functioning of human system. Then it also affects the sleeplessness. It affects the sleeping, thereby inducing the people to become restless and lose concentration and presence of mind during the activities. Then what are the measures to control the noise pollution? We can control the noise pollution at receivers and at the source, at the receiver end. For people working in noisy areas, ear protection aids like earplugs, muffs, noise helmets, headphones, etc. should be provided. It reduces the occupational exposure. And how to control the noise pollution at source? This is only possible if working method is improved. Design new machines to replace noisy ones. Proper lubrication and better maintenance of machines. Installing noisy machines with sound absorbing materials. Using silencer to control noise from automobiles. Then next is zoning. Increase distance between source and receiver by zoning of the noisy industrial areas like bus stand and railway stations away from the silent zones, near residential areas, educational institutions, and hospitals. The next is the sound insulation. Sound insulations can be done by constructing the windows with more than one panes of glass and filling the gap with sound absorbing material. Then acoustical files, perforated plywood can be filled on wall, ceilings, floor to reduce the noise. Next measure is planting of trees. Planting of trees and shrubs along roads, hospitals, educational institutions help in noise reduction to a considerable extent. Then what are the legislative measures? Strict legislative measures need to be enforced to control the nuisance of noise pollution. Some of the measures are minimum use of loudspeakers near silent zones, banning pressure horns in automobiles, framing a separate noise pollution act. Then there is a list of the damage risk criteria for hearing loss. On the left side, they have given the maximum allowable duration per day in the hours, and on the right side, they have given the sound pressure level in decibel. So, through the noise pollution, noise trauma is caused. Hearing loss associated with exposure to noise has been well known in boiler makers, iron and copper smiths, and artillerymen. Lately, noise trauma has assumed greater significance because of its being an occupational hazard. The compensations asked for and the responsibilities thrust upon the employer and the employee to conserve hearing. Hearing loss caused by excessive noise can be divided into two groups: acoustic trauma and noise induced hearing loss. What is acoustic trauma? The permanent damage to hearing can be caused by a single brief exposure to very intense sound. For example, an explosion, gunfire, or a powerful cracker. Noise level in rifle or the gunfire may reach to 140 to 170 decibel SPL. Sudden loud sound may damage outer ear cells, disrupt the organ of corti, and rupture the resinous membrane. A severe blast may concomitantly rupture the tympanic membrane and disrupt the ossicular chain. Then next, noise trauma is the noise induced hearing loss, in short NIHL. Hearing loss in this case follows the chronic exposure to less intense sounds than seen in the acoustic trauma and is mainly a hazard of noisy occupations. There are two types of shifts: temporary threshold shift and permanent threshold shift. The hearing is impaired immediately after exposure to noise but recovers after an interval of a few minutes to a few hours is known as the temporary threshold shift. The hearing impairment is permanent and does not recover at all in case of permanent threshold shift. The damage caused by the noise trauma depends on several factors: the frequency of noise, intensity and duration of noise, continuous versus interrupted noise, susceptibility of the individual, and the pre-existing ear disease. Noise induced hearing loss causes the damage to hair cells starting in the basal turn of cochlea. Outer hair cells are affected before the inner hair cells. The noise induced hearing loss is preventable. Persons who have to work at places where noise is above 80 decibels should have pre-employment and then annual audiograms for early detection. Ear protectors should be used when noise levels exceed 85 decibel. They provide protection up to 35 decibel. If hearing impairment has already occurred, rehabilitation is similar to that employed for other sensorineural hearing losses. So our session of noise pollution and noise trauma completes here. This session is powered by digital version 2.0, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope you're satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in the comment box. I will resolve it soon. Thank you so much.